Who are these people, Dick?
Oh, these people are the JCs that I hung out with. Yeah, obviously you can see I'm on the left, and all of these guys I've lost contact with. And some of them have passed away, and most of them have moved. But I was really enjoying the JC time that I spent there, and they finally made me president, and I got involved very heavily at the state level too. And here we have the two moms, my mom and Barb's mom, in Mom's yard, and you got Lori with her little Easter hat on, and Gary with his little Easter outfit on, and I'm sure we just come back from church and had a good time for Easter time at Grandma's. I'm sure they were going out and look for some eggs. Well, there I am dressed up as a hobo, and I didn't dress up for Halloween, so I've got to think that it's probably part of something with the JCs that we did. We used to visit other chapters and have some rallying, and that's probably what this is about. I was not afraid to dress up and look funny, and I did.
You did.
I did.
Mm-hmm. And the kids cried.
And the kids cried. I scared them. Well, here I am with my leisure suit at Christmas time, and Dad and Mom and our kids. We've got Lori there, and we've got Gary and Karen. It's got all around the Christmas tree at Mom's house, and they all look good there. Mom and Dad both look good, and this was probably a time in the life of our kids that they really enjoyed their grandparents, being around the house like that. And we did visit there quite often.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here I am on the West Coast, enjoying dinner out at probably in San Francisco or LA, I'm not sure which. This was one of the projects I had as a operations guy to go out and put in distribution centers on the West Coast. I put one in Reno, and we were also looking around the LA area to do that. So I just had a break, take some time, and had a nice place to eat, and just wanted to share that with you. And here I am with my favorite girl in our front yard. This was another Easter time, I'm sure, with the blossoms of, what kind of tree is that, Barbara?
Magnolia.
Magnolia tree, a northern magnolia. And I just thought it was a cool picture and thought you might want to see Mom and Dad together. You don't have too many pictures of Mom and Dad together because Dad is usually taking pictures. And here's my Mom and Dad, and I'm thinking that this is probably a year or two before Dad passed on. He's starting to look a little peaked there. Wasn't doing too well the last year and a half. So I think that's probably the case. And of course, Mom was as cute as ever, but she's 20 years younger than Dad too. So she was really a good homemaker, and we really miss both of them. And here I am. I put this picture in here because I know Scott would like it. Because he likes me having these little things, frogs and gnomes and things like that. The kids used to make sure that I had one of those kind of things for Father's Day or for a birthday. This was probably a birthday when I got one of my frogs. And this is the backyard that I was talking about earlier, where we excavated down. We found that kind of stone all the way down. This was prior to that. This was a patio out
Yeah, that
there.
became the wall in the family room.
This was a wall in the family room.
So you built that wall?
No, the wall was there, and I was very surprised that I expected cement down when we took the patio out, but we didn't have cement. We had rock wall all the way down. So the whole back was backfilled. We found that out. And there I am with my siblings. And of course, the good looking one is me with his stomach out. And next to me is Fred. And then Bonnie next to Fred, and Albert on the end. And the boys are still here. Bonnie departed, what, 3 years ago now? About 3 years ago, yeah. So this was on our front lawn, and it was one of our get-togethers. We used to have a lot of get-togethers. And Albert must have come in, I would think, from the West Coast for this. But we had a good time together.
Sorry, I work with Barbara on that Wednesday.
And this is just one of the things that I've done. Gone up in a glider and gone up in the balloons, and I really like the balloons. They're a lot of fun. This might have been up, I think this might have been a balloon ride up near Middletown, where we went up and then went right over the racetracks and watched the race cars go. And what I really liked, we would go up high, but what was nice is when we'd go just above the trees and go over the yards, and people would be out barbecuing, and we would talk to them. And it was pretty neat for them and pretty neat for us. And I really enjoyed it. If you get a chance, a balloon ride is a whole lot of fun. And there we have the family. We have, on the left, we have
And Jesse.
Aunt Jessie. Now, Aunt Jessie is alone here. Uncle Roy apparently had passed away, but my Uncle Roy was my dad's brother, and they had a lot of adventures together as young people. But Aunt Jessie was really one of our favorite aunts, and they lived down in Florida, and Barbara and I would get down there to see them. And I think this is probably where Aunt Jessie lived. She was almost right on the water. Of course, Barb was there, and there's Mom and Joe. Now, who is Joe?
I don't know. Who's Joe?
Joe was her first boyfriend up in Burlington, Vermont.
Whose first boyfriend?
My mother's first boyfriend.
Oh, I thought it was
In
Barbara's
high
first.
school. And when Dad passed away, a few years later, Mom's brother, Orrin, passed away, and she went up there to his funeral, and Joe was at the funeral, and they sparked a relationship. And all of a sudden, Mom and Joe are coming down, and they said they're getting married, and they moved to Florida, and they've had a wonderful few years together down there. Mom was really happy. Joe was happy. It was a nice time. Joe had a hip operation and never came out of it. And that was a real shame. We really felt bad about that because they were having a great time together. So Fred and I went down and moved Mom back up to New Jersey, and she lived out her life a few more years with Fred and Dottie. This is just a picture that was taken, I guess, when I was made vice president of operations in Pure Pack.
What year was that?
Who knows what year it was? I don't remember years. This has got to be about 30 years ago. So
And you
what
had-
would that be 30 years ago? Be 96, 86?
86.
86, about 1986. So-
And you haven't changed. You still look like you.
Well, I hope I look like me. I think I got a few more wrinkles and a few less hairs. But this was probably the picture that they put in the executive book.